Welcome everyone. Today is May 28th, 2024, and this is one of the things I absolutely hate about living in the country. So I can't stand rodents and bugs, and that's not something that's easy to deal with if you're living way out in the country, especially if you're surrounded by woods. So I was letting my dog out last night, and around here, even people with brand new homes, the field mice and stuff, they will get in your crawl spaces and then get into like your walls from there, and then they get in your house. It's really gross and disgusting, but it's just one of the things that happens. So I have a house that's old. It was built in 1912, and the crawl space is a dirt crawl space and all that stuff. And it's really bad for getting like field mice. You can hear them in the walls. So every once in a while, one of my cats will find something, and they usually don't eat it, but so a car just went by. You probably think I'm a crazy nutcase standing by the ditch in the rain, but they usually don't eat what they find. A few times they've torn it apart, and of course I have to go pick up the pieces, and it's so gross and disgusting, but really is disgusting. It makes me sick, but it's just one of the things you have to deal with until I can move. So last night when I was letting my dog out, my cat found something and let me know, "Mom, don't forget to throw this in the garbage." They like to come and show me so I can put it in the garbage. But if it's dead, it goes in the garbage. But I mean, if it's alive, like usually when they bring something to me, if it's alive, it's trying not to move. It plays dead a little bit. It'll move a little bit, but not much. So I can easily just stick it in like a container and then like throw it in the ditch. Because I try to be kind and considerate and, and all that stuff. But, sometimes it's hard. So I won't touch anything. It's just something that I just can't do. I'm not touching any of this stuff. But I can get them in containers that there's old ones I keep. And this here is what they brought me last night. And I wasn't coming outside at like midnight. So I just put it in this container. And I'm just going to let it go because it's just so disgusting. And, it's going in the ditch. So let me open this up a bit more. Okay. It's just a baby, a little tiny little baby, and it's gonna go there. So there's my good deed for the day, and it's still moving, so I can just know that that's one animal I didn't kill. So sometimes you just have to kill stuff. But sometimes I try to just be a little kind and considerate, what would Jesus Christ do? But, it's just one of those things. Sometimes I'm like, well, I feel bad throwing in the garbage. It's still alive, but I don't want it anywhere near me. So I just put it in the ditch and wish it well, but just go somewhere else. And most of the time it's probably going to end up food, so I don't have to worry about it coming back here. But at least I know I tried to do something nice. So that's my good deed for the day. And I just have to pray it doesn't ever come back here. But yeah, it's one of the hardest things. I mean, like when you're gross and disgusted with bugs and rodents, but you live out in the country where that's pretty much all it is out here. There's just animals, rodents, bugs. It's just everywhere. And they get in your house, they get in your cars, your trucks, all that stuff. So, it's really difficult because how can you prevent that when you can't just go and rebuild your whole house? So if you have any, I guess like tips or advice for how to prevent rodents from getting in your houses, especially really old ones, that is a cost effective, because I will tell you, there's so many things that I would love to do, but financially it's just not going to happen. And there's so many other people with the same problem. If you can't, rebuild your house, or, do all the things that you need to do, like have an excavator come and dig out all the concrete or all the ground around your concrete walls for your, where like the base, I don't want to say basement, I'll say crawl space, but it's the height of the basement, it's just all filled with dirt. But unless you can have an excavator come and dig all that out and then seal all the concrete and put all the dirt back, and then from the inside put concrete down, because animals dig. So here the rodents will dig through the dirt and they'll go under your concrete walls, and then they'll come up through inside the crawl space. So that was the problem that my neighbors told me that they always had here for like ever. They come in from outside, so it doesn't matter what you really do. They're just gonna dig holes along the side of the house, like and underground, until there's no more concrete, and then they'll go underneath, come around, and then they come up. So they have a way to get into your dirt crawl spaces. So I can't put concrete down in my crawl space. That's just not going to happen. So, unfortunately, they just come up in there, and then from there they come up through like your walls and your furnace vents and all that stuff. And it's just like, what do you do? What do you do when you can't just go and spend a pile of money and pay someone to come and do all these things that help prevent it? Like, what are some things that, you can do to help this issue when, you don't have piles of money? So one thing that I find is important is, if you have furnace vents, you can actually take your vents like on the floor, take them out, and you can put like window screening like on the bottom of the vent, and then put it back in the hole, so you have a screening there. So like spiders, because spiders go through there too, so spiders and little baby mice and things like that, they're not going to be able to come up through your vents, because you have that screening. Now, yeah, if they can chew through it, okay. But, for the most part, it just helps. So that is a cost-effective thing to help with the bugs and the rodents, so that they're at least not coming up through there. But this is just one of those things that's just hard to deal with. So my solution is actually literally sell the house, which is what I'm planning on doing in the fall. I just need to fix it up as much as I possibly can, inside and outside, from now till then. And then, I'm just got to put the house up for sale and pray and hope for the best, that I get the amount that I need to get it for it, and that I believe it should sell for, and then literally move. So my plan is to move like 3 or 4 hours south, where it's warmer, better grows, like 3 grow zones warmer, so I can have a much better summer for growing like foods and my fruit trees and stuff like that. But my plan is to find some really cheap land in a really good spot, and then find a way to figure out how to build a house, and just one floor house. And I feel like if I can, instead of paying a crap load of money and buying a house that's already built and it's probably going to have problems, or it's not going to be the way I want it, instead of paying all this tons of money that they want for even junky houses now, it makes more sense to just find a cheap piece of land that has a decent space in a good area and just build a house, because I'm not building a mansion. I'm just a 1-floor house with a huge basement and a garage. That's pretty much all I need, just the biggest I can buy for whatever money I'll have. And then that way I can make all of the I can take all the precautions, making sure that it's like 1,000% fully sealed off from anything and everything, so I can avoid issues with that. And I can also at the same time know that every single thing in my house is brand new, all the plumbing, all the electrical, and it's done the way I want. It's using the material I want. So hopefully I shouldn't have problems for like 50 years. Because after all the things that I've had to deal with here, I don't wish that on anyone. And I'm still dealing with stuff. I mean, when you're dealing with floods, not just one, but multiple like water floodings in your home, pipes bursting and roofs leaking, and you'd fix one thing and then something else happens, and then there's electrical issues. I can't just plug something in the electrical. So it's the old original electrical from when they first built the house, of the original electrical. So if I try to say put in an air conditioner in the window, it blows the breakers because it's the old electrical. It's not the breaker, it's just the electrical. It all just goes out. So there's one window that has a fairly new-ish electrical. So I can put the one little window air conditioner. I had to get the smallest I could possibly buy, and it's the only thing that does not blow the breakers for air conditioning. So my house don't have air conditioning. When it gets like in the summer, there's times when it's between 90 and 100, even though, yes, I live in Canada and we get 90 and 100 temperatures. I have no air conditioning except one room upstairs. So it's tough, but so my solution is sell my house and just move and just build whatever I can build with whatever money I'll have to build it with. And at least I know my electrical is excellent and I can have air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. So, my solution may not work for everyone, but I'm just determined to find a way to live in the woods, away from the street, away from neighbors, and find how to have like the most peaceful life and reduce issues like rodents and little bugs. So far, I'm very fortunate that I don't have rats. Now, out here, my neighbor told me that, they always had rats here. They always did, but because he was the one that had to come and trap them. But that's just how it is out here. Fortunately, I don't have that, thank God. So it's always just little mice that my cats will find. And they're like, Mom, found another one. Put this in the garbage. So they'll every so often. Fortunately, I haven't seen very many of them. They've brought me, I think, 3 total in the year. That little baby one counts, so I'd much rather, just that than some people that I feel really bad for who have great big huge ones and other rodents going through their house, and snakes and all that kind of stuff. So fortunately I haven't had snakes, and thank God for that. But it is a bit much. So if you have any good tips and tricks on how to cost effectively try and find a way to keep them from getting in your house, I'd greatly like to know. And I'm sure there's tons and tons of other people who want to know, because I see videos all the time of people who have rodents in their vehicles, in their cars, and their vehicles are right by their house. Their house have rodents in there. They get in through everything, all through your walls, and then come in your house, and they chew your electrical, your house. There's people here who their whole entire house just caught fire because rodents were chewing their electrical cords, and their homes burnt to a crisp. I think there was 2 or 3 last year or the year before, just were around my area. But it's raining really hard now, so I'm going in. But I was just hoping that maybe there's some good information that'll help many other people, not just myself, who have to deal with this problem when you're living in the country. So if you do have anything that you can share, please put it in the comments. And oh my goodness, I gotta go in the house.